Hey, I'm Dan, and this is Dan's Planes.
Now, did you get video of that thing eating up the other airplane?
I wish.
Oh, man. That would have been good. And then so, yep, still in one piece.
All right.
You want to sit down?
Nah. Okay, let's try this.
Ignition on.
Whoa, ooh.
Does not do well.
That does not.
Rudder was not biting.
No. That sounded like just the motor was lost. No.
Are you going to go up again? We'll go right, left, so we're flying into the wind. That's a quick little thing, Dan.
Yeah.
That's what you're running from.
Bunch up elevator because I'm giving it all I got and it's not doing it. Just give the throttle and yeah, I had no up. I was giving it up and it just didn't go up.
It gave up.
It gave up. So it's probably in Amazon about now. Go in the woods again. Here is the aftermath of the P-39. Broke the engine out, broke the prop, ripped out the front gear, of course, ripped out all gear actually, and broke off aileron chunk and broke off the flap, and it broke apart Matt's 3D printed thing that held the front gear. So all in all, it could be repaired, but I bought it broken. I had the mid-air, which it was kind of a pain trying to get parts for that, and took a while to get it finally repaired because of the supply of parts. And then now I've taken it up and busted it up again, so I realized I had low rates on my elevator because I was flying my S-Bach and wanted to practice some landings. So that's why it took a while to finally get up, and then there was no quick enough response over the trees. Once it started going down, I was giving it full up and it just wouldn't go. So that was the big mistake. That is all. And I'm back in the workshop with the FMS P-39 Airacobra. So my previous videos, I had taken it out to fly again or remaiden after I had mid-aired it at Joe Knoll a year or two prior. The first attempt, I wasn't getting much turn of the front wheels, so basically I had no authority with the rudder or the steering, so that ended up going into the grass and then ripping out the front end gear and steering servos, so I had to repair that. Then I took it back up again, and when I took it up, it was taking full up elevator to get it to take off, and I had to really gain some speed. And I was over the woods, and here again, just like my F-35 that I lost because I was trimming it over the woods, once I was over the woods, I let go of my full up elevator to see how much trim I would need to give it, and it dove faster than I expected it to dive, and giving it immediate full elevator again, it just was not climbing fast enough to to go into the woods, so it went in. So I killed the power on it and kept up elevator best I could. And I keep saying, I'd rather be lucky than good. Somehow I was lucky enough that the plane made it all the way through the trees down to the ground, so I was able to get it back. It looks worse than what it is. Most of it's fixable. Just the 3-bladed propeller is going to have to be replaced. But I've gone through all of the servos, and they don't seem to be missing any teeth. I've checked my gear, and everything's moving up and down like it should. So what I've got to do, I've got 2 elevator halves that are connected by this plastic piece here. One side fits into the other side, so I had to reconnect that, so that's fixed back up again. Then my gear, I'm going to have to hot glue those in. That's no biggie. Got the glue gun getting warm as we speak. Then going to have to foam tack this aileron back together and foam tack the hinge of this flap back on. I learned in a model aviation article that you could use foam tack as a hinge for foam airplanes too, and I've used it since then, and it does works great. So have to do that. The motor actually fell completely out. I just am dry fitting it here to see how it's going to go back in, and then I will hot glue this here back together. But I'm going to hot glue the motor back in. Then I'm going to have to order a 3-blade prop, put that on. And Matt has already made me another insert here. It's kind of a box, which you can see the white piece here was part of the box that you attach your actual gear, and then further back you attach the servo to turn the gear. So thankfully none of that is broken. So Matt has left that at the field for me, so I just need to pick that up next time I'm at the field. So I'll get everything else done and get my 3-blade on order, and then at the field pick up the box. So actually not as bad as it looks, so it still should be a fun model. She sure is quick, I give her that. But the reason why I was on low rates anyway, getting back to that, was because I was flying my S-Bach and I was practicing touch and goes. And I had read an article in MA that if you use low rates, it can help your landings look smoother and look better because you're not overreacting, which I've tried it and I like that. But then there's another philosophy that I had used before that. I've seen someone that was flying jets and giving advice on landing, and they said, no, you want to do high rates because during your takeoffs or during your landings are where you may need to make incredible adjustments. So you want to have those high rates available at that time. So, which way is right? They're probably both right. Just depends on what you want to do. But I was practicing my S-Bach with the low rates, and I had only flown this plane 2 or 3 times. I think the 3rd time is when I mid-aired it. So I only had one maiden flight where I got the thing trimmed out, one flight where I was starting to get used to the plane, and then a half a flight getting used to the plane before I mid-aired. So I didn't really go back and decide which one of my rates I wanted to keep or I wanted to adjust. So obviously the low rate on elevator is not something that I want to necessarily have. Maybe when it's at full speed or something, so I don't overturn the elevator. But yeah, I'm probably going to change that low elevator so it at least equals the middle. But usually I fly middle rates, but I forgot to check all my switches before I took off. And that's what happens when you make mistakes. So that was mistake number 1. Mistake number 2 was letting go of that elevator when I was over the woods instead of getting 1 or 2 mistakes high and then trimming it out. That's what I should have done. So stupid mistakes. If I could just get it through my thick head to stop trying to do trim adjustments when I'm only a quarter of a mistake above the stinking woods, then I'd probably still have my F-35 and I wouldn't have to fix this P-39. But I can't seem to learn that yet, so maybe next airplane. I don't know. We'll get this fixed and do updates later.